This is big. This is big. This is very big. This is very big. I know. Okay. I'm live. I'm live right now. I'm live. Anyway, so yeah, this is big. This is not an easy thing. that, you know, we can just deal with and then just throw it just like that. No, it's not easy. And I, for one, I feel personally affected. I feel personally affected, and no one can take away what I feel, or can deny me to feel the way I do. No one can deny me to feel the way I do. And I don't have to prove to anyone that I feel hurt. I may not come out and you know, start crying like others have done, but I am hurting. That is true. I am hurting, and up to now I feel I've not resolved really the kind of feeling that I have and how this has affected me. No, Mercy, I can't move on. I can't move on, and I won't move on under these circumstances. I don't think I can move on. I don't think I can move on. And I strongly believe that I'm not the only one feeling like this. I am sure there are a lot of other people out there who are also feeling this kind of void, this kind of, you know, hating. I am sure there are a lot of, I am feeling it. I am hurt. That is for sure. I am hurt. Lungu, I knew him. He was not somebody that was distant to me. I became close. I used to sit with him. I used to talk to him on on phone conversations. In a day, we would speak 3-4 times at one point. In a day, we would speak 3-4 times in one day. And we shared a lot of things. We shared a lot of things. We shared things personal. You know, Valungu knew about my family. Valungu knew about, about my marriage. Valungu knew. Valungu knew, I mean, some of the family challenges I was going through. Valungu knew. He was like my counselor. He was like my counselor. I don't think there is anybody who I used to share some of these, very personal issues, even relating to my own family. Mundubile is a friend of mine. Mundubile is a friend of mine, and I was very, of course, now that I'm here, and we were very close. Yes, and I used to share a lot of personal things with Mundubile, but I think Balungu it was more. Balungu it was more. Balungu knew, I mean, my deepest feelings. He knew my deepest feelings. And we used to share like that. So, when a person like that, who you are that close, goes, I mean, you can't just take it to say, no, I mean, it's politics and no. And I know there are people that are saying, no, Tayali, stop talking about this. Tayali, slow down and whatever. I want to tell you that you don't know how I'm feeling. No, you don't. You don't, because even myself, I really don't understand the feeling that I have. I'm telling you, Nachinkuma, and what I'm speaking here this morning, it is not, to make political mileage. It is coming from me, from deep down, my inner self. I am affected. I am affected, and I feel very bad. I feel very bad. I feel very bad, especially that, now people want to insist that Edgar Lungu should be buried in South Africa. I want to put it on record. Unequivocally, I want to put it on record very, very clearly that I am against Edgar Lungu being buried in South Africa. I am totally against I am against Edgar Lungu being buried in South Africa. And of course, some people will say, I mean, at the end of the day, it's family. At the end of the day, it's family. So, I mean, you know, and like somebody was even telling me in some of the text messages, somebody was talking to me, and somebody told me that the only people that really are hurt are the Lungu family. Somebody said that the people who are really, really hurt are those, you know, the immediate family. It is true. It is true. It is true. The wife is the wife. The children are the children. But believe you me, sometimes people make an impact in our lives. So some people make an impact in our lives more than, you know, the people that we may be bloodly related to. Sometimes people who may make an impact in our lives, or sometimes people that we may be attached to, may not even be our blood relatives. May not be. May not be. So you can think that no, because somebody is a blood relations, they are more hurt. But you never know. You just never know. You never know. Much as you may be related, you know, by blood, but at the end of the day, the closeness and the way we feel is personal. Much as people may be related to somebody by blood, when it comes to how they feel, it is very personal. Because we have relatives that we don't like. We have, I mean, I'm just speaking in generally here, please, Napapata, don't get me wrong. We have children who actually don't love their fathers. Who actually don't love their fathers. We have wives who actually don't love their husbands. We have husbands who actually don't love their wives. And the person that might actually be hurting more is a person that may not even be a blood relation. So the point is that I think let us not just emphasize this point to say no, you know, you are not family. You are not family. So you waited sana. You can't feel the way I feel. No. Hold on a bit. Hold on a bit. We have spouses that kill their partners. We have spouses that kill their partners. We have children that kill their parents. We have parents that kill their children. So let us be very careful when we make this statement or we dismiss how people are feeling. Let us be very careful. Let us be very careful. So I for one, in a chinkuma, whether I'm family, whether I'm not family, in a chinkuma, and I feel very hurt, and it has affected me, you know, to think that Edgar Lungu is going to be buried in South Africa. I feel bad that people, political vultures, are taking advantage of this situation to make political mileage. These issues, number one, I feel very bad that political vultures are taking advantage of this situation, you know, to make political mileage. Number two, I feel very bad that Edgar Lungu should be buried in South Africa. And number three, I feel very bad that there are people that are using this, to cleanse themselves. I don't know. But anyway, let me just leave that point. So these 2 points, Political vultures are out to use this so that they can advance their political mileages. Secondly, you know, this issue of barring Edgar Lungu in South Africa has really affected me. Why should we bury Edgar Lungu in South Africa? Why? Why should we bury Edgar Lungu in South Africa? Why should we bury Edgar Lungu in South Africa? Burying Edgar Lungu in South Africa will mean that there will be no closure. Burying Edgar Lungu in South Africa, it means that there will be no closure. As it is, many people are even wondering if indeed Edgar Lungu is dead. Some people are even doubting if Edgar Lungu is dead. They are sending me text messages to say, I think Tafwile. And they are asking, who has even seen a body? People are asking, who has even seen a body? And really, we have heard, yes, Lungu has died. But really, it has not sunk in. It's different. It's different. This is why when we hear, even in our family settings, when somebody dies, even our friends, okay, even our friends, when we hear somebody has died, we take long trips from wherever we are. People fly, you know, long flights. They take long flights. They pay thousands of dollars for them to go and have, you know, that money, for them to attend the funeral. Why do people attend the funeral? It is for closure. It is for closure. Why do people travel from far and wide? Why do people spend so much money? Some of them, they even go and borrow money. They take loans. People take loans. People go to, you know, these microfinances. They go to microfinances to borrow money on expensive, you know, what is this? Expensive interest, high interest. They borrow so that they can go to the funeral. Why do people do that? And this, it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter the race, even our Sungu Balachita. It is just our human nature everywhere, everywhere. People do that. It doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter. People travel far and wide to go and attend the funeral. Why do they do that? It is for closure. And right now, the family has set up these conditions which are denying, they are basically denying the rest of us to mourn properly. The family, the so-called family, they have set up these conditions which are denying us that opportunity to mourn. They are the ones who have set up the conditions. Because what is the problem here? The problem is not the government. The problem is not the government. The problem is not the government. Even those of you who are siding with the family, you stop for a moment. Stop for a moment and ask yourselves, what is the problem? Stop for a moment and ask yourself, what is the problem? What is the problem? In all this, what is the problem? Who is being difficult? Who has set up conditions? The government has not set up any condition. The government has not set up conditions on Edgar Lungu going back to Zambia. They haven't. The Zambian government actually sent a minister and other people and a plane to go and repatriate the body. So, there is willingness on the part of government. The government wants Edgar Lungu to be buried in Zambia. They sent a plane. They have prepared the grave. They had done whatever. What is he saying? A program. Government has actually invested in making sure that Edgar Lungu is given a dignified send-off. Is given a dignified send-off. But the family has set up conditions. Government have invested. Government have put up everything that Edgar Lungu is given a dignified send-off. They even declared a national mourning. They even extended that national mourning. So from the government point of view, government, they have done what they could. Yes, the family are bringing up conditions and they are making certain allegations. And one of the issues that they brought, was that, no, you didn't look after Edgar Chagwa Lungu well whilst he was alive. So why should you give him a dignified send-off when he's dead? This was the number one issue. This was the number one issue. Why should you? My wife. Oh, Kia, you're back.
Yeah, I'm back.
Oh, okay. How was school, baby?
Good.
Oh, good. You wrote a test? You wrote a test? Oh, good. That's good. So, baby, I'm doing something. I'll call you when I'm done. Just now, okay?
Okay.
I'll call you back.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, sorry for that. But of course, you know, under these circumstances, when my daughter calls, you know, I can't just ignore that. But anyway, the issue is, what was I asking? What was I talking about? I was saying the issue that they started with, because we are looking at what is the problem. Let us look at what is the problem. Why this impasse? Why this impasse? Let us look at it, and we look at it objectively. Objectively. Let us use our minds. Let us use our reason, not emotions. Let us look at it, you know, a point by point, and analyze these points. Number one, when Edgar Lungu died, the so-called family came up and said, no, we don't want you to give him a dignified send-off. Why? Because you didn't treat him well when he was alive. You didn't treat him when he was alive. I agree. Our politics have not been very good. I agree. This is why even me, I am here. Surely, President Hakainde Hichilema and his government needs to look at how they treat, their opponents. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. So it would be absurd for me to say, no, everything is okay in Zambia. No. I'm the first one to say, yes, there are issues that we need to look at as a country. The way we treat each other as politicians. Surely, I agree. I am the evidence of what is not being done properly politically. I am the evidence. And of course, the family is right to raise these issues. But what they are missing is that Edgar Lungu is being honored now because he's a former president. He's a former president. Get this very clearly. Edgar Lungu is being honored and dignified because he's former president. He's not being honored because he was an opposition leader. No. He's not being honored because he was an opposition leader. The challenges or the ill treatment that you can talk about came as a result of Edgar Lungu's political activities. Of course, it is not right. It is not a crime. It is not a crime to do politics. So we can't say that, no, it was justified for the government to do this and that and that. It is not justified. But the point is that whatever issues that you are talking about, you are accusing the government, they came as a result of Edgar Lungu's political activities. And the government is not honoring him because of his political activities. The government is honoring him because he is a former president. That is what they are honoring him for. That is what they are honoring him for. The political activities, I mean, you can't dwell on you can't bring them at this point in time. Because Edgar Lungu now is no longer a politician. I mean in his death, he's not doing politics. In his death, Edgar Lungu is not doing his politics. In his death, Edgar Lungu is a former president, and we have to bury him dignified. That's what it is. That's what it is. In his death, he's not doing politics. In his death, he is a former president, and we need to look at we need to dignify him as such. And look, whilst you are busy, accusing Hakainde Hichilema, whilst you are busy accusing Hakainde Hichilema, what about Edgar Lungu himself? When Edgar Lungu was in power, how did he treat his opponents? Because you want to canonize Edgar Lungu, and this I shouldn't be talking about it, but I want to be objective, I want to be fair. Edgar Lungu himself, how did he treat his opponents? How did he treat his opponents? Edgar Lungu himself, when he was in power, how did he treat Hakainde Hichilema? How did he treat Hakainde Hichilema? Edgar Lungu himself, when he was in power, how did he treat other politicians? Even those who are today, trying to justify, who want to share in the political spoils of this impasse, because there are now politicians who want to share in this impasse. They want to get something out of it as well. But even them, they know, how did Edgar Lungu treat them? How did Edgar Lungu treat them? Even me, I am crying here. I am hating that Edgar Lungu is gone. But let's face it, how did Edgar Lungu treat me? How did Edgar Lungu treat me? As a politician, as somebody that was criticizing him. I was okay as long as I agreed with the PF. The moment I didn't agree with the PF, the police will be on me. The police will be on me. When Edgar Lungu was in power. Yeah, Edgar Lungu left power. Did I hold him against that? No, I didn't. I didn't. Even now, I'm speaking for Edgar Lungu. In his death, I'm speaking for him. I am speaking for Edgar Lungu in his death. I'm not looking at, no, Balungu wants Tirefi, whatever. No, it's not about that. It's not about that. You can have your differences. People can do bad things to you. But when they are gone, it is not a time for you to start bringing up to say, hey, you did this to me. Hey, you did this to me. No. 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 We are all short of the glory of God. We are all weak in one way or the other. By Edgar Lungu hate me in one way. I also hate him in another way. Same. HH was hate by Walungu. Walungu also hate HH in one way or the other. That is human life. That is human life. So the family to be talking about, no, you treated him this way, you treated him this way. The question that I have is that, what about Edgar Lungu himself? How did he treat others? How did he treat HH? And surely, if these people are being reasonable, there is no way they would cling on to that and make it an issue that we cannot go and bury Edgar Lungu in Zambia. That is the first point. The second point that these people, they say, no. HH should not speak. Edgar Lungu said that he doesn't want HH to speak on his funeral. Look, this is bitterness. This is bitterness. It is bitterness of the highest order. When no matter what happened, you cannot say, no, I don't want this person to speak on my funeral. I don't want this person to come near my coffin. I don't want. You can't do that. That is bitterness of the highest order. That is bitterness of the highest order. You can't do that. If you, indeed, you are even a Christian, especially if you are even a Catholic, if you are even a Catholic, because in Catholic, one of the issues that we emphasize is forgiveness, is reconciliation. Reconciliation is at the center of our faith. Reconciliation is at the center of our faith. So even for those that are even saying, no, I'm Catholic and whatever, and Edgar Lungu, you wanted even to celebrate Mass, to be celebrated by an archbishop, for that matter. You want to celebrate Mass, here by Edgar Lungu, by an archbishop, and yet you are talking bitterness. You are talking bitterness. I'm actually surprised. I'm actually surprised that, you know, big names such as Archbishop are being mentioned, and yet one of the fundamental pillars of our faith, of reconciliation, is being overlooked. Is being overlooked. I'm really surprised. I'm really surprised that people are talking about celebrating a big Mass in showgrounds by the Archbishop, and yet you are saying so and so should not speak. So and so should not speak. Honestly, is that coherence in our faith? Is that living the Christ-like life? Would that be a Mass that was ordained to us by Jesus Christ? Jesus Christ, who died on the cross, and whilst on the cross, after being bruised, being beaten and everything, he was there on that cross and he said, forgive them, Father, for they do not know what they're doing. And that is the Mass. That is when we celebrate Mass. We live the mysteries of Jesus Christ, the passion of Christ. That's what we live. That's what we live. At least for me, when I go to church, that is what I live. I relive the passion of Christ and edified by his word. So how can you be so hypocritical, calling for a Mass to be celebrated by an archbishop in a big venue, showgrounds, and yet you are bitter, you are saying no, so and so should not speak. Honestly, that is from that point of view. But then again, when you talk about the state, I mean, the state has got its own way that it operates. The state has got its own way that it operates. Yes, it is not in the constitution to say, no, the president should be there at a state function. Like John Sangwa was saying, to say, no, what makes a state function is not the presence of the president. Yeah, right. But really, I mean, there is a way that the state should function. There is a way that our country should be seen. There is no constitution. It is not written in the constitution that when you are honoring a head of state, you should do, a guard of honor, fly past, and whatever. It is not there in the constitution. But this is a tradition of the state. This is part of the state. The ceremonies that we have, some of these things, yes, they are not in the constitution. Who should arrive first and whatever, they are not in the constitution. But that is how a state operates. That is how a state operates. So, it is disrespect to say, no, the president should not be there. This kind of condition is preposterous. This kind of condition is unreasonable. It's unreasonable. Where in this world where a president would be relegated to say, no, you go and watch on a television. You will not be there. We will have a state function, but you go and sit in your sitting room and watch on TV. Is that respect to the head of state? I may not be an ally of Hakainde Hichilema. I may not be, one who agrees with Hakainde Hichilema. But this is not about Hakainde Hichilema. This is about our nation. This is about our country. And we cannot disrespect our president in such a manner. Even other countries, even in South Africa, can South Africans, have a function, a state function, and say Cyril Ramaphosa will not be there? We have seen state funerals in South Africa where, people really didn't agree. People were not agreeing, and we saw the different speeches that came on the podium when different leaders took the stage to speak to the people. One good example that I would give you is the funeral of Mama Winnie Mandela. When Mama Winnie Zidik Mandela died, there were issues there. There were issues. And you remember what Malema said. Remember the speech of Malema. I don't want to dwell so much in the South African politics, but we know that some of their leaders who have gone, they had no good relationship with the administration at that point. They had no good relationship with the administration at that time. And yet, South Africa held their state funerals with people speaking from different experiences and emotions. From different experiences and emotions. Not even Mandela's death was void of, issues. Even Mandela's death. Remember the speech that Kaunda gave. Remember the speech that Kaunda gave at Mandela's funeral. Remember what other people said at Mandela's funeral. Because Mandela, you would have expected that everybody would have spoken in unison. But no, we had different speeches at that moment. So surely you can't make a demand to say, no, only those who we agree with can speak or should speak at the funeral. It is unreasonable. It is unreasonable. It is unreasonable. And surely you cannot blame the government to say, no, the government is being unreasonable. The government should not do. No, Hakainde Hichilema should stay away. No, that is disrespect. That is disrespect. Yes. Let him come and say whatever he had to say. You people, the people of Zambia will be able to judge. Hakainde Hichilema can come and say whatever he wants, but the people of Zambia are not foolish. They will be able to judge. We have had such funerals. We were just burying Mama Banawakwi. Hakainde Hichilema was there. And, but if Mobata spoke from his point of view, Hakainde Hichilema spoke from his point of view. Why can't we do the same on Edgar Lungu? Why can't we do the same on Edgar Lungu? Why? Why? Why should this create an unresolved impasse? Why? Is it really about Edgar Lungu or there's something else? There were some other things that you people are talking about. No, Edgar Lungu wanted to go to Koba Belt, Petauke, and Lusaka, whatever. These are things that reasonable people would understand. There is a cost implication to that. There are cost implications to that. How much is it going are we going to spend as a country in going round like that? How much are we going to spend? How much are we going to spend? And well, I would say that is something that can be negotiated indeed. If indeed this is whatever, government can compromise on this. Government can compromise on this. If indeed this is so much of an issue, government can compromise on this. Government can compromise on this. But is the family really willing to compromise? Is the family willing to compromise? Then we had the other issue. No, the government did a program. I saw this guy, young lady talking about the program. No, it is just Haka in the Ichlem. That program, the program that was released, it didn't just say it is Haka in the Ichlem. There is this narrative that people want to create, that Haka in the Ichlem want to eat the body of Edgar Lungu. Because you are creating this impression that Edgar or Haka in the Ichlem, when he gets to the body, he will just eat that body. You are creating a situation here which is making Haka in the Ichlem look like a vampire that wants to, eat the body of Haka in the of Edgar Lungu. But surely, where is the reasonableness in that? You may have your own superstitions. You may have your own superstitions. But those superstitions that you have, honestly, how can you bring in these superstitions when this man has been ill from a long time? From a long time. And you people know exactly how that man died. You know exactly. You know exactly. You know how that man died. You know what caused the death of Edgar Chagwa Lungu. You know. You know. So why should you be bringing in Utuma superstition? No, Haka in the Ichlema, whatever. I mean, it is unreasonable. It is really unreasonable, because whatever you are talking about, you can't convince the rest of us. Especially when we know that this man was ill for some time. We know. Why should that be an issue? Why should that be an issue? This man was ill for some time. You know the cause of death. And certainly you don't want us to be discussing. You don't want us to be discussing. You don't want us to be discussing the cause of death and how, what. You don't want us to go there. You don't want us to go there. But you see, when you are being so unreasonable, at the end of the day, you provoke us. Me, I'm talking, this morning I'm talking because of the continuous propaganda that you are peddling. The continuous propaganda that you are peddling. And how you are painting our country. The embarrassment that you want to cause to our country and to our government. This is why I'm talking. So, whatever is wrong, I ask to say, what is wrong? Surely, if you look at these issues, really, there are no issues here. There are no issues. There are no issues to warrant the family to say, no, he should be buried in South Africa. No. No. There are no issues here. There are no issues unless there is something that the family is not bringing out. Unless there is something that the family is not bringing out. And you know, for a moment, allow me to think like this. I think these issues that these people are bringing, they are not holding water. They are not holding water. They are not holding water. I think what might be at stake here, if you look at it, it's the court issues. Much as Makebi Zulu said, no, the court issues are not part of the negotiations. But from my point of view, I want to think that these court issues are playing a big role in this. They may not be bringing them out, but let's face it, we might have to bring that conversation to the family. We might have to bring that conversation to the family. Because surely, Ama reasons are, you didn't look after him well. Even Edgar Lungu did not look after us well. Even Edgar Lungu did not look after us well when he was president. No, we don't want Haka in the Ichlema near whatever. I mean, what are you talking about? What is your issue over that? What is your issue so that we can hear you? If Haka in the Ichlema sees or goes near the coffin, what will happen? What will happen? No, we don't want Haka in the Ichlema to speak. I mean, it is a state funeral. And where is your forgiveness? Where is your forgiveness? Where is your forgiveness? So, now if what number to tampo ukulanda, no, we can't do that. No, we have to go to Ndola, whatever. Maybe that's something that can be discussed. Maybe something that can be discussed. So when you look at the demands of the family, surely they are not making, so much sense that we should have this impasse. To a point that a former head of state should be buried in another country. I mean, we are even dragging South Africa in this. We have dragged South Africa in this. But, South Africa, I have great respect for South Africa. South Africa is my second home. South Africa is my second home. South Africa is home for all Zambians. There is no country in the world where Zambians freely go like they are going to their home, like they are going to their home village, apart from South Africa. Yes, in the region we are okay, Malawi and whatever, but really, how many Zambians are in South Africa today? How many Zambians are in South Africa? If you look at the whole region, how many Zambians are in South Africa today? We have a lot of Zambians who are in South Africa. Even as I'm talking, we have buses, not one, not two, not three. Sometimes we have 5 buses. 5 buses going, back and forth. Going to South Africa and coming from South Africa. It's a fact. Then look at how many planes go back and forth in South Africa. How many? How many flights do we have going to South Africa and, back and forth? How many? We have so many. There is no country in the world where we have so many Zambians going and coming back like they are coming from their home. No. There is no, tell me one country where Zambians are so free than South Africa. So we have this good relationship with South Africa. And I really commend South African government for the mutual respect that we have, for the good relationships, diplomatic relationship that we have. I really appreciate. Yeah, somebody saying Malawi. Yes, Malawi, but how many Zambians are working in Malawi compared to South Africa? How many Zambians are living in South Africa compared to Malawi? Speak with objectivity, my brother. Speak with objectivity. Open your mind. Be reasonable. South Africa is really our sister country. And we have enjoyed a good relationship so far. Now, should this impasse create problems between countries, between South Africa and Zambia? Because it is out of such incidences that diplomatic relationships are tainted. It is out of such relationship that diplomatic relationship go sour. And when these diplomatic relationships go bad, they do affect many people. We cannot risk to have tension between Zambia and South Africa at this point. We can't. We have enjoyed a very good relationship. The Lungu family, basically 3 people cannot come and taint the good relationship that we have with South Africa. They shouldn't. And South Africa should not allow itself to be drawn into this. South Africa should not allow itself to be drawn into this. Why? Because, look, if South Africa says, no, let this man be buried there, first of all, what will happen is that the Zambian people will be denied an opportunity to close. There will be no closure. We will keep on wondering, is Edgar Lungu really gone? Is Edgar Lungu really gone? South Africa should help the Zambian people to mourn. South Africa should help the Zambian people to have a closure. Because banning Edgar Lungu in South Africa it will be temporal. It will be temporal. It is for sure going to be temporal, because eventually we would have to go and exhume the body of Edgar Lungu. Eventually we will have to go and exhume the body of Edgar Lungu to bring it back to Zambia. Why should reasonable people allow this kind of thing when the government of Zambia is willing to receive the body? The government of Zambia is ready to bury this man. Why should a few individuals come in between to jeopardize what is reasonable, to stop the so many people to do what is reasonable, only for their selfish motives? It will be temporal. It will not close. It will be like putting Edgar Lungu in a fridge. And you see, these political vultures, what they want, they will make now that as a political campaign message. They will make a political campaign message. Once they put Edgar Lungu in that hole, wherever they will put him, you know, they will come back. And then they will be now talking to say, vote for me so that I can bring the body of Edgar Lungu, so that you can come and have a closure. You see, it is a political move. They want to come and use this for political campaigns. I am a politician, and I can assure you, I am determined. I am determined to lead Zambia one day. Being here and whatever I go through, I don't look at it to say I'm just going to leave it. No ways. I'm not. I am not. I am very serious about my political ambitions. I'm very serious. Very serious. But this one, it's too much. This one, it's too much. I refuse. I refuse, and I'm not going to be part of any of those political vultures who wants to use a body of Edgar Lungu, who wants to use Edgar Lungu in his death. These people used Edgar Lungu when he was alive. I saw it. I saw it. I saw how they used to manipulate Edgar Lungu. I'm live. I'll call you soon. I saw how they used to manipulate Edgar Lungu. I saw how they used to manipulate Edgar Lungu. And I can tell you that these people, Edgar Lungu, was not so adamant to go back into politics. No, he wasn't. He wasn't. And one day I will sit down and write. You know, I've actually been motivated to write my own accounts of my interaction with Edgar Lungu. Because some of these things, I want to bring them out. I want to bring them out. Maybe I'll actually spend time writing a book on my interaction with Edgar Lungu. I can tell you, I know that I was one of the first people to go to Edgar Lungu and say, can you come back into politics? I am one of, at least, he never told me that somebody told him whatever. Anyway, he said, yeah, some people were also telling him. He told me that. But I had that conversation to say, please come back. Hakainde Hichilema is failing. Hakainde Hichilema is failing. The things that we thought is going to change or is going to fix is not fixing. Please come back. I went to Edgar Lungu. We sat in his living room. And we sat for more than 3 hours. For more than 3 hours discussing this matter. And I can assure you, the first time I spoke to him, he told me, I've done my part. I've done my part. Let others come in. If he's failing, you know, and I even said it in one of my whatever. Edgar Lungu used to speak so graciously of Hakainde Hichilema. Trust me, I never heard Edgar Lungu, speak so bitter about Hakainde Hichilema. No. He was quite gracious. He used his words carefully when discussing Hakainde Hichilema. Anyway, he refused. And I kept on going there, back and forth, back and forth. At the end of the day, that is how even the issue of Munduvile came up. Edgar Lungu blessed me to say, go ahead, go and campaign for Munduvile. Go and campaign for Munduvile. And time and again, I would go there and he would ask me, how is it going, what, and he would give his ideas for me to campaign for Munduvile. But later on, things changed. And from the way they changed, I can tell you, but Edgar Lungu never did say, he said, no, I want it. No. He never said, I want it. It is only me that read between the lines to say, okay, this is what it is. But in him coming back, or in him talking to say, no, let me come back, he was mentioning other people who were giving him reports. People who were giving him reports on Brani Munduvile. People who were giving him reports on whoever. People who were expressing concerns. And they were putting it to say, no, the only one, it's you. The only one who should be there, it's you. And well, when they are talking like that, I saw it to say, okay, I need to change the agenda here now. So anyway, that is a story for another day. That is a story for another day. The bottom line is that these people manipulated Edgar Chagwa Lungu to stay in politics. Later on, when we discovered that it was difficult due to the legal issues, due to his helmet, I expressed it to say, Makateka, choose somebody else. But still, it was difficult because these people were busy pushing him, putting him in this direction. But they were not doing this for Edgar Lungu. They were doing this for their own ulterior motives. Now, Edgar Lungu is gone. They have continued abusing Edgar Lungu. They are manipulating Edgar Lungu in his death. That is my problem. That is my problem. You people, when Edgar Lungu was in power, you took advantage of his power. And you benefited yourself. You abused some of us. When Edgar Lungu left power, you continued manipulating him to stay in politics so that you can be benefiting. Now he's dead, but you want to continue holding on to him so that it can benefit you politically. And this is my problem. And I wanted to express myself. I want to say this. I want to say this so that, I don't know, it can get out of my system. You people, you are being evil. I am talking here because you people are being evil. You political vultures, you are the one behind the so-called family. You are the one who are behind. You are the ones who are behind. And some people are saying, no, it is the family. What the family chooses, that's it. No, wait, let's wait a minute. Let's talk about that first of all. You are saying now you want to bury Edgar Lungu as a private person. You want to bury Edgar Lungu as a private person. And yet, you are the people that benefited when he was president. When he was president, when he was becoming president, you never stopped him. You never stopped him to say, no, you are our person. You are our father. You are our husband. You didn't stop him. You allowed him and you cheered him. You even appeared on political campaigns, on political rallies. You did. You campaigned for him to become president. When you did that, you released him to us. You gave him to us. You gave him to the Zambian people. So now, you cannot turn around and say, no, we want to bury him as a private person. When you were the first people to benefit out of his presidency. When you gave him to us, you gave him to us, you benefited. You enjoyed. You enjoyed. I'm sorry, I'm really sorry that I have to say this, but please allow me to say, Bamayowa Esther Lungu, you were the first lady. And I'm sure you liked that. You liked that. You enjoyed being a first lady. You enjoyed it. You enjoyed it. The Zambian people gave you respect. So today, now, you want to turn against us. You want to turn against us and say, no, I mean, he's our person. Who are you to talk about him? Who are you, Chilufya Tayali, to talk about him? Shut up. No. You gave him to us. You gave him to us. You gave him to us. Tasila, you are there. You are the one that is appearing as the only child. You are the one who is appearing as the only child. Tasila, we didn't even know you. If your father had not become a president, we wouldn't have known about you. You were an American. You were an American. I am sorry I am getting to this, but the point is, it's because, you know, of what you are doing. Nach to kalipa, ine nachin kalipa. And this is why I have to tell you, and if anything, I'm actually holding back. I would say terrible things. I would say terrible things. But believe you me, I am holding back. I am holding back. Tasila, you were an American. You were an American. You were not Zambian until your father became president. And today, you came into Zambia today. The following day, you were a councillor and fighting to become a deputy mayor. You arrived today. The following day, you were a councillor and fighting to become a deputy whatever. Next, you are now an MP removing Sicharwe. Sicharwe is now sitting at home. Sicharwe only did 1 term. And they had to remove him to put you there. Because your father was president. So how dare you turn around today and tell us to say, how dare you turn around today and tell us to say, no, he's our father. He's our father. We are going to do it privately. How? This man was a public figure. He belongs to the public. How dare you now come out and say, no, we are going to bury him in South Africa. We don't care about you Zambians. Zambians who have made you to be an MP. Zambians who have made you to own what you have. What you have, it's because of Zambians. Those things that you talk about to say, they were gifts from my father. They were gifts from my father. Essentially, it is because of Zambians. It is because of Zambians. So come on, let's be... don't be selfish. This is why I'm telling you that you are being selfish. This is why I'm saying you are being selfish. Because you are only looking at your side. You are not looking at the majority Zambians. You are not looking at us. I am sorry. I am sorry for me. I'm really sorry. If it means whatever, I'm sorry. I will not stop. I am sorry. I will not stop talking about this. I'll keep talking about this. If it means me going to bed with Hakainde Hichilema, I will go. If it means me going into bed with Hakainde Hichilema, if it means me going to plead with Hakainde Hichilema, I can go and plead to Hakainde Hichilema and ask for one job. One job only. And that job is to be talking about you, to be exposing you. People, you are saying that, no, I'm talking like this because I want to come back home. Believe you me, ask by you PND. I have not asked to come back to Zambia. I have not. I've got my plans. I've got my plans. But if it means me being stranded and whatever, I would rather go home. And I can assure you, I can be talking every day. I can ask for one job only, one job. To talk about these political virtues. I can, that one I can do it, I can assure you. Get it straight. I have not asked you PND that I'm coming back, and I'm not coming back. But ichichanana chinjikata, and I will not stop talking about it. So you people saying no, move on. I'm not going to move on because it is selfishness. It is selfishness. I will not allow you to feast, to cannibalize Edgar Lungu's body politically. I will not allow you to cannibalize Edgar Lungu's body politically. Edgar Lungu being buried in South Africa, it means there is no closure. And if there will be no closure, we will keep talking. We will keep talking, and I will do anything. I will do everything in my power to keep talking about it. Mpaka chitumbi chikese. I will keep talking about it mpaka chitumbi chikese. I will do whatever I can to be talking about it mpaka chitumbi chikese. And I will start calling out, I will start calling your names out. Nkapena. Nishila apena. Nishila apena. But in Deneve Chishinka. Nkapena. I will go crazy. I will go crazy. And mind you, I will be on the side of government. Deneve Chishinka. I will be on the side of government. So there will be nothing like no side balo, no whatever our police. There will nothing. Nkala milibulafi. Nkala milibulafi. Nkala milibulafi. If I want, I will even stay here. Because there is nothing that is stopping you to bring the body into Zambia. There is nothing. Whatever reasons that you are talking about, they don't make sense. They don't make sense. You can't talk about, no, yo tabamsum gilebuino. Edgar Lungu himself did not look after his opponents well. I'm not politics, it's politics. You cannot say, no, Hakainde Hichilema cannot speak on a funeral. Come on. He's the head of state. And whatever he's going to say, it will not kill Edgar Lungu twice. Whatever you say, it will not kill Edgar Lungu twice. No, he should not come near the body. Edgar Lungu is already dead. Edgar Lungu is already dead. No matter how long you keep him there in South Africa and whatever, he will never wake up. He will never wake up. So you cannot be using that to say, no, we don't want Hakainde Hichilema. No, no. Hakainde Hichilema is not Jesus Christ that no ngamona takawuke pana nkanipa day of judgment. No, nothing. It doesn't work out. And then you know Hakainde Hichilema whatever Edgar Lungu said, why are you asking for a mass? Why are you asking for mass? For mass with presided by an archbishop in the showgrounds when you are failing to forgive? If you are failing to forgive, why are you asking the entire archbishop to preside over a mass of Edgar Lungu? Why? Eh? Why? Why are you asking that? Edgar Lungu, but anyway, why are you asking for that mass? Why? And his grace also. I think this is where, we should show, if they are mentioning our Archbishop Dr. Eric Banda, and they are asking to do mass, maybe he could have also engaged the family better. Eh? Is the Archbishop engaging the family on this? Because really, if the Archbishop is engaging and he wants to celebrate mass, these are some of the things that he would raise, unless he's also acting as a human person. As a human person, he's also acting as a human person. Unless he's acting as a human person and not a shepherd. Not a shepherd that he is, because a shepherd brings, the sheep together. So, what's going on really? What's going on? How can we be asking for a mass and yet we are holding on to bitterness? What kind of mass is that? What kind of mass is that? What kind of mass is that? So, if you are just reasonable, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And the South African government, surely, I'm sorry, I'm making this strong plea that we have had a good relationship. We have had a good diplomatic relationship. Zambia and South Africa enjoys a good diplomatic relationship. Please, let not that relationship be soiled by unreasonableness. If there are really issues, I am in exile, and South Africa is one of the countries where I have been, and I was okay, and whatever, they looked after me very, very well. I am very grateful. You looked after me whilst I was in South Africa. You really looked after me. And yes, you are looking at me, protecting my human rights, protecting me as a person who is alive. But what purpose are you going to be serving to be depositing Edgar Lungu's body in South Africa? What purpose are you serving? What help are you giving? For what? Who are you giving that help? When the government of Zambia is saying, please bring that body. What? Yes, the constitution say they can only reach to the family. They cannot release it to the family. It's true. And surely you cannot give anybody else. According to your constitution, you need to give to the family. But the issue is, as you give the body to the family, are you going to give them also where to bury him? Why would you be saying bury him? Yes, you can give them the body. You can give them the body. But please, advise them to bring the body to Zambia. Give them the body, yes. We are not saying give it to Zambian government. Give them the body. But advise them to come to Zambia so that they resolve the issues. These, at the end of the day, these are internal matters. Whatever issues that the family Yaba Lungu Balela Ndapo, whatever issues the so-called family is talking about, these are internal matters. Edgar Lungu did not come to South Africa to seek asylum. Edgar Lungu was not a resident of South Africa. Edgar Lungu was not a resident of South Africa. He wasn't a resident. Edgar Lungu was not a political asylum seeker in South Africa. No. He only came for treatment. And unfortunately, he died. Unfortunately, he died. So really, on what grounds would South Africa be comfortable to in South Africa? How? What cure? Or what are the fears? What are the fears? Because in the situation where somebody, is alive, you can fear to say, no, if he goes back, like me, I'm here. I mean, the government here would hold me to say, because if he Tayali goes back, they will put him in prison. They will put him in prison. So yes, the country will be resistant to hand me over. To hand me over. Because they will be saying, if he goes, they are going to put him in prison and we believe he's not a criminal. But now, a person who came to your country for medical attention, then he dies. How do you change now to make it an international issue that no, this person should be buried in South Africa? When the government where he comes from is willing and has even invested to receive that person. Those people who are insisting to stay in South Africa, advise them kindly, advise them gently that they come back to Zambia. They come back to Zambia. If they have issues, let them bring out those issues. What are those issues that they are scared of? If they are scared of the issue of no ama court cases, yawo, I mean, that is something that can be discussed. That is something that can be discussed. I don't think there is any risk on the body of Edgar Lungu. There is no risk. There is no risk which the government of South Africa should come in to protect or to ameliorate or to... there is nothing. In as far as the body of Edgar Lungu, there is nothing that the South African government should engage, should involve itself and be an arbitrator and risk the relationship that we have. Because eventually they will be embarrassing our government. They will be embarrassing our president. They will be helping political vultures to embarrass our government, to embarrass the head of state. How would South Africa feel if the opposition of South Africa come to Zambia and, start playing all these machinations to embarrass the South African government and Cyril Ramaphosa? How would they feel? The president is there. He's saying, I'm here, please. Bring the body, we bury. That's what the president is saying. The president is saying, bring the body. Why should the president be embarrassed by these political vultures so that they can tomorrow start saying, hey, vote for me. I will bring the body of Edgar Lungu. Vote for me. I will bring the body of Edgar Lungu. Should South Africa tolerate that? Because this is what it is. This is what it is. It is about these people depositing the body of Edgar Lungu in South Africa and then come back to Zambia and champion. No, hey, remove Hakainde Hichilema. Remove Hakainde Hichilema. He's a very bad man. And then when we remove him, we are going to bring back the board of Edgar Lungu. That is what they want. That is what they want. Should the South African government tolerate that? Is that okay? It is not okay. It is not okay. If there are issues relating to Mama Esther Lungu, with the cases that she has, if there are issues relating to Tasila Lungu and other family members, these are issues that can be discussed. That can be discussed. I know they are scared. Truth be told, I know they are scared. They are wondering, if we go to Zambia, after we bury, what will happen? This is the truth. I know it must be going in their minds. They are thinking, if we go back to Zambia and we bury, what will happen to us? What will happen to us? And surely they can be scared. But this is something that, you know, can be discussed. Even me, I am against the fact that Esther Lungu should continue going to court. I'm against. I'm against that even Tasila should be followed. I'm against. I'm against. So this is something that we can be talking about. This is something that we can be engaging. And I'm sure the whole country will sympathize with them. I'm sure the country will sympathize with former First Lady. But to hold all of us to ransom so that we don't have a closure. How in an akan? In an akan. If you don't want us to have a closure, because it is not fair. And I'm not doing politics na chinjikata. Na chinjikata. Na chinjikata. It has really hurt me. It has really hurt me. And I'm sure there are many Zambians who would want to mourn Edgar Lungu and have a closure. I think I've made my points. I just wanted to get it out of my system. I really wanted to get it out of my system. And move on. You have not moved. No. Timon, Emmanuel, I have not moved on. And I'm not moving on. I have not moved on and I'm not moving on. As long as you leave Edgar Lungu in another country, no ways. And this is not about Shanjani. It is about our country. It is about the dignity of our former head of state. Edgar Lungu is our former head of state. Whether you like it or not, is our former head of state. Yes, family takes precedence, but at the end of the day, he is also our president. He is also our former president. Our history has to be written correctly. We cannot allow this nonsense because of a few individuals. No. Munjereleko. I'm telling you, on this one, Nshaleke. Lekeni bamdala vese balale. Lekeni vese balale. Mwali, you used him too much. Didn't you abuse this man so much when he was in power? Even when he left power, you were still benefiting out of him. You are still benefiting out of him. Some of us, I mean, at the end of the day, we are even in exile. Me, I was a soldier of Edgar Lungu. I was a soldier of Edgar Lungu. I was a commando of Edgar Lungu. You have been sharing those my videos. Hey, Tayali, this, Tayali. Yes, I was a commando. I was a commando for Edgar Lungu. I was a commando for Edgar Lungu. And at the end of the day, my commander has left me in exile. My commander has left me in exile. I'm in exile now. I am in exile now. Because I fought for my commander. I fought for my boss. I fought for Edgar Lungu. And you people, you now want to continue. You very people who let us down, you want to continue. No, I refuse. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. You have used Edgar Lungu too much. Let him come back home. Let him rest at home. Let everyone, every Zambian who misses Walungu, go there and see, go at the tomb. They will not go to South Africa. Your funeral will not go to South Africa. Zambians will not be able to travel to South Africa. Let them mourn Edgar Lungu in Zambia. And I will continue talking. South Africa, me, I am pleading. I am really grateful for the relationship that we have. But please, Edgar Lungu only came to South Africa for medical attention. Unfortunately, he passed on. He was not a resident of South Africa. He was not running away from anything. And even if he was running away from anything, he's no more. He's no more. And his government is willing to give him a dignified send-off. Please, help us. Help us by simply advising the family to come to Zambia and resolve these matters in Zambia, and not to make it an international issue. This is not an international issue. This is an internal issue. By the fact that he died in South Africa, it doesn't make it an international matter. It is still an internal issue. Edgar Lungu was not a resident in South Africa. Neither is he South African. He's Zambian. We cannot shift everything into South Africa. No. No. Thank you very much.